I'm Killeen and welcome back to Easy Math. Today we're going to cover some of the most important concepts in algebra. We're going to start off with some basic ones and move on to more complex ones, okay? So let's start with this. Say you have 5x plus 3x. How are you going to add this, okay? So we see that we have x as a common base, right? So that means when you have something that is common or like, you can add the coefficients. So when we add the coefficient, we'll add 5 and 3 because it's a plus over here, so we'll have 8 and we'll leave x as it is. So this is our answer. 5x plus 3x is equal to 8x, okay? Let's move on to the next one. What if you have 2y plus 3x plus 4y minus 2x, okay? Feel free to pause this video and try this on your own. So like in the previous ones, we need to add or subtract like terms, and we see that we have two different variables. We have y and we have x. So we can add the like variables. So we have two y's over here, so we can add them, add or subtract, but because there's a plus, we'll add. So we'll add the coefficients. 2 plus 4 gives you an answer of 6. So you'll leave y, so 6y. And we subtract the coefficients of x because there's a minus over here. So 3 minus 2 gives you just x, okay? It's 1. So minus 6. So this is the final answer, okay? Right. Let's try another one. Say if you have 2x plus 4y minus 6 plus 5x plus 3y plus 8, right? Feel free to pause this video and try this on your own. So here we have two variables. We have x and we have y and we have constants. So we're going to add or subtract the like terms. So we'll add and subtract everything that has x. So we'll add 2x to 5x. So we add the coefficients. 2 plus 5 gives us an answer of 7. And we leave x. And then we have y, which is our next one. So we'll add 3y because they are like terms. So we add the coefficients. 4 plus 3 gives you an answer of 7 also. So we have 7 plus 7y. We'll leave the y. And then we can do the constants lastly. So you have minus 6 plus 8 gives you an answer of plus 2. So this is our final answer, right? This is our final answer, okay? So what's next one? Here's another one. Say we have 3 radical 2 plus 5 radical 5 plus 4 radical 2 plus 7 radical 5. Okay, feel free to pause this video and try this on your own. So here we have radicals, but we do have like radicals. We have radical 2 and radical 2 over here, and we have radical 5 and radical 5. So they have like radicals, so we can add them. We can add the coefficients. So we'll start with radical 2. So we have 3 and we have plus 4. So we add the coefficients. It's going to give you an answer of 7. And we leave radical 2 there because they have radical 2 in common. So we have 5 radical 5 plus 7 radical 5 is going to give you an answer of plus 12 radical 5, okay? So this is our final answer, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 6x plus 2x squared minus 2x plus 4x squared. Alright? Feel free to pause this video and try this on your own, right? So we have x and we have x squared. So they're not like terms, they're different terms. So we'll add everything that has x, add or subtract everything that has x, and add or subtract everything that has x squared, okay? So we have 6x minus 2x gives you an answer of 4x, okay? We have 2x squared plus 4x squared gives you an answer of plus 8x, plus 6x squared. Plus 6x squared. So this is our final answer, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 4x squared plus 2x plus 3 brackets and a plus over here, and we have 5x squared minus x, squared minus x minus 6, okay? Feel free to pause this video and try this on your own. So we can take off the brackets actually. Why do we take off the brackets? Is because we have a positive sign, and the positive sign does not affect the brackets, okay? It does not affect, so we can take off the brackets. So I'll show you later why we can't do this with the minus sign. I'll show you later, but we can do this with the plus sign. So now this is just a normal expression, and we can find the like terms. So we have x squared, and we have x and x, and we have these constants and a constant over here. So now we can just add or subtract the like terms. So we have 4x squared plus 5x squared is going to give you an answer of 9x squared. We have 2x minus x gives you an answer of plus x, okay? Because 2 minus 1. So then we have 3 minus 6 gives you an answer of negative 3. So this is our final answer, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 2x squared plus 4x minus 6, brackets over here, minus, okay, minus 7x minus 3x plus 8. Okay, so feel free to pause this video and try this on your own. Before we deal with this, we can't just go ahead and remove the brackets, because we see that between the parentheses we have a negative sign, and remember, when there's nothing there, there's a 1. So we need to distribute this negative 1 to everything in the parentheses, okay? Because the negative 1 will affect whatever is in the brackets. So we'll have this down over here. We'll have 2x squared. We can just leave this so long. 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. So we'll multiply, we'll distribute everything. So negative 1 times 7x, everything will change the sign, so it will be negative 7x, okay? And then negative and negative gives you positive, so 1 times 3x is just going to give you an answer of 3x. And negative and positive gives you negative, so it's going to be negative 8, right? So now we can go ahead and do this like a normal expression. So, oh sorry, there's a squared missing over here. So now we can add or subtract the like terms. So we have x squared and x squared. So we have 2 minus 7x. 2 minus 7 gives you an answer of negative 5x squared. We keep the x squared. And we have x and x. So 4 plus 3 gives you an answer of plus 7x. We have our constants, which is negative 6 and negative 8 gives you an answer of minus 14. Okay, so this is our final answer. Okay, here's another one. Say we have 2x brackets 4x squared plus 6x minus 6. Okay, so here we have a polynomial. A polynomial is an expression with more than one term, and an expression that has 2 terms is a binomial, an expression that has 3 terms is a trinomial, and mono is for one term. Okay, so here we have multiplication of polynomials. So like I told you in the previous video, when we have nothing in front of the brackets, the default operation is multiplication. So we're going to multiply 2x into everything in the brackets. We're going to distribute 2x to every single term. Okay, so when we do that, we say 2x times 4x squared. So 2 times 4 gives you an answer of 8. We add the exponents, so there's 1 over there, so 1 plus 2 gives you 3, so we have 8x cubed. 2x times 6x, 2 times 6 gives you an answer of plus 12, we add the exponents, so we're gonna have x squared. 2 times minus 6 gives you an answer of minus 12, and we have just x. So there are no like terms here because this is addition and subtraction. There's no like terms, so this is the final answer. Okay, so this is our final answer. Of course, it's the trinomials because it has 1, 2, 3 terms, and we're adding and subtracting, so this is our final answer. We can't do anything because of course there are no like terms over here. Okay guys, here's another one. Say we have 5x squared, okay, brackets 2x cubed, okay, and minus 8x to the power 4 plus 3x squared and minus 5. Okay, so feel free to pause this video and try this on your own. All right, so now we have a single expression and we're going to multiply it to everything to the polynomial. So we'll distribute this to the polynomial, the single expression. So when we do this, we'll multiply by 5x squared times 2x cubed. So we'll have the coefficients first. 5 times 2 gives you 10, and then we add the exponents. So we have 2 plus 3 is going to give you an answer of 5. So 10x to the power 5. And here we have 5x times minus 8x to the power 4. So 5 times minus 8 gives you an answer of negative 40. And x squared and x4, if you add the exponents, you have x to the power 6. And we'll have over here 5x squared times 3x squared, so we'll have 5 times 3 gives an answer of 15. Okay, and then we add the exponents to give you x to the power of 4. 2 plus 2 is 4, and we have 5x squared times minus 5. 5 times minus 5 gives you an answer of minus 25, and we have x squared. We can't do anything further because we don't have like terms. So this is our final answer, guys. We can't do anything further because we do not have like terms. And say we have 2x minus 2 brackets, and all this in brackets, and 3x plus 4. So here we have multiplication of binomials because in each bracket we have 2 terms, so it's binomial multiplied by binomial. Okay, so we need to distribute 2x to each term, right? Okay, so we're gonna have 2x times 3x, so 2 times 3 gives you an answer of 6, and with the x there's a 1 over here and there's a 1 over here, so we need to add the exponents. So we have 1 plus 1 gives you 2, so we have 6x squared, and then we have 2x times 4, so 2 times 4 gives you an answer of 8, and we left with x over here. And then we multiply negative 2 with 3x, so we'll have negative 2 times 3 gives you an answer of negative 6x, okay? And negative 2 times 4 gives you an answer of negative 8. Okay, so we're not done here because we have like terms. We can add or subtract 8x with minus 6x. So we're left with 6x squared. And because these are like terms, 8 minus 6 gives you plus 2. So we have plus 2x and minus 8. So we can't do anything here because we don't have like terms. So we left with this polynomial as our answer. Here's another one similar. So say we have 3x plus 8 brackets 5x minus 2. Okay, feel free to pause the video and try this on your own. So again, we're going to distribute 3x to each term. Okay, so we're going to have 3x times 5x. 3 times 5 is 15, and x, we have to add the exponents, so 1 plus 1 is 2, so we have x squared over here, and then we have 3x times negative 2 gives you an answer of negative 6, and we have x there, so we bring down x, and then we have 8 times 5x, so 8 times 5 gives you an answer of 40, and we're left with x, and 8 times negative 2 gives you an answer of negative 16, we're not done. We have like terms. So 15x squared will leave because it doesn't have a partner. And minus 6x and plus 40x are like terms. So minus 6, so we can add or subtract the like terms. Minus 6 plus 40 gives you an answer of plus 34x, okay? And we have minus 16. So this is our final answer because we do not have like terms, okay? So we have this one, 2x minus 3 squared. So feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So we see that we have 2x minus 3 brackets, and this is all squared. This is the same as saying 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3. When there's a square there, it's basically 2 of these. So it's the same as saying that, okay? So now we can just do the normal multiplication of binomials because we have 2 terms in each bracket. So we'll then FOIL 2x and 2x. So 2x times 2x is going to be 2 times 2 is going to give an answer of 4. We add the exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 4x squared. So then we have 2x times negative 3. 2 times negative 3 is to give you minus 6. And we're left with x over there. Minus 3 and 2x gives you an answer of minus 6x. Minus 3 times minus 3 gives you positive 9. We're not done here. We have like terms, so we can add or subtract the coefficients. So we leave 4x squared alone. And we have minus 6 and minus 6 will give you an answer of minus 12x. And we left with 9. So this is our final answer, okay? 4x squared. Okay, here's another one. Say we have 2x minus 4 brackets 3x squared, okay, minus 5x plus 6. Okay? So here we have multiplication of binomials by trinomials, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 2x minus 4 brackets 3x squared, okay, plus minus 5x plus 6. Okay, feel free to pause the video and try this on your own. So here this is by multiplication binomials multiplying by trinomials, because in the first brackets we have 2 terms, the binomial, and in the second brackets we have 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. So we'll do the same thing as we did before. We'll FOIL, so we'll distribute 2x to each term, and we'll start with that. So we have 2x times 3x squared. 2 times 3 gives you an answer of 6, and we're left with x. So if we add the exponents, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, so we have 6x cubed. We have 2x times minus 5 times minus 5x, so you're going to have a negative answer. 5 times 2 is 10, and we add the exponents, so 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and minus we have 2x times 6, so we can have plus 2 times 6 is equal to 12, and we have x there, right? So now we're going to distribute minus 4, so we're going to have minus a minus answer, so 4 times 3 is equal to 12, and we have x squared, and then we're going to have minus 4 times minus 5x. Minus and minus gives you plus. 4 times 5 gives you 20. And we left with x. And negative 4 and positive 6 gives you negative 24, okay? We're not done here. So now that we can look for like terms. We see that we have 6x cubed. Nothing else has x cubed, so we left with x cubed over here. 6x cubed here. 10x squared, we have x squared, and we have another x squared over here. So we can subtract the coefficients. Minus 10 minus 12 gives you negative 22x squared. And then we have x and x, which are common too. They're common. So we're going to add the coefficients. 12 plus 20 gives you plus 32. And we have, of course, we keep x. and then we have minus 24 that we leave here. Okay, and that is our final answer because we don't have any more like terms. So this is our final answer. Okay, so let's look at some properties of exponents. Let's say we're multiplying these variables, x cubed times x to the power of 4, right? So when you're multiplying variables, you add the exponents. So it's basically saying x, and we add the exponents, so we add 3 plus 4. We left with x. 3 plus 4 gives you an answer of 7. So why do we do this? X cubed is basically saying 3 x's times x to the power 4, so 4 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And we then add, we count all the x's we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Hence, the answer is x and to the power of 7, okay? So what if you have x to the power of 10 divided by x to the power of 2, okay? When you have common variables, you subtract the exponents. So you have x 10 minus 2, okay? And that gives you an answer of x to the power of 8. And why do we do this? Because you have 10 x's on top, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and cut that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have 2 x's on the bottom. Okay, so when we take off the 2 x's, we count how much we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's why we subtract the exponents, and that's why we have x to the power of 8 is our answer. Okay, what if we have this? What if we have x cubed raised to the power of 2? Okay, so when you have any variable raised to the power of 2, you multiply the exponents. So you multiply, so you have x is 3 times 2, which is going to give you x to the power of 6. Why do we do this? Is basically x cubed is basically 2 of these, 2 of x cubed, okay? And now we say we have x cubed times x cubed. Remember, when we multiply these common variables, we add the exponents. So we have 3 plus 3 is going to give you 6, okay? So this is why we multiply when we're raising to the power, okay? We multiply exponents, okay? Here's another one. What if we have x squared on top divided by x to the power of 6, right? So we looked earlier, we said if you're dividing variables, you subtract the exponents. So you're going to have x 2 minus 6 is going to give you an answer of x to the power of negative 4. But when we have variables, we don't like negative exponents. So what we do is we say x minus 4 is over 1, right? So we're going to switch places. When you switch places, it changes the sign. So instead of 1 being at the bottom, we're going to put it to the top, so we have 1 there. And when we move x, it's going to become positive 4, okay? Another reason why we do this is also we have 2 x's over here and 6 x's over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. When I take off 2 x's, I'm left with 4 x's. So it's basically 1 over x, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 over x, 4. Okay? Let's try this one. So you have 2 x about 4 and y about 3, brackets, open brackets, 3x2 and y5, okay? Feel free to pause the video and try this on your own, okay? So now we need to multiply this term by this term, because if there's no operation here, the default operation is multiplication. So we'll start with the coefficients. Okay, we'll start with the coefficients. We'll multiply the coefficients. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And remember, we have x. Remember, when we're multiplying common variables, you add the exponents. So the common variables is x. So we'll add 4 and 2. So we have 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, and we have also y. Y and y are common variables. We add the exponents, so 3 plus 5 is going to give an answer of 8. So our final answer is 6x to the power of 6 and y to the power of 8. Okay, here's the next one. Say we have 4x squared, y negative 2, and we have 6x negative 10, y 6. Okay, all right, again we'll start with the coefficients. So 4 times 6 gives you an answer of 24. Okay, and we have x squared and x minus 10. So we'll have x, when we have common variables, we add the exponents when we're doing multiplication. So 2 plus minus 10 will give you answer negative 8. Okay, and y negative 2 plus 6 will give you an answer of plus 4. But we're not done here, because we have a negative exponent. We don't want negative exponents, so we're gonna have to move, because this is all over 1. We're gonna have to move this x so it changes the sign. So we leave 24 on top and we leave y4 because they are okay. So we'll bring this down and we'll be left with x to the power of 8. It changes the sign. So this is our final answer, guys. Okay. Okay, so here's another one. Say you have this one. Say we have 10x 6 y minus 7 over 5x2 and y3. Okay, feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So 10 divided by 5 gives you an answer of 2. Okay, and remember, when you are dividing common variables, you subtract the exponents. So we're gonna have x 6 minus 2 gives an answer of 4, and then we have y minus 7 plus minus 3 gives you an answer of minus, because it's minus 7 minus, and this is positive 3, it's going to give you minus 4. Okay, right? So now we have a negative exponent and we don't want that. This is all over 1, so we're going to bring y minus 4 to the bottom. So you're going to have 2x, we're going to leave 2x of power 4, and we're going to bring y to the bottom, so it will change the sign. So it become, instead of negative, it will become positive 4. Okay, and this is our final answer. Okay, guys? Okay, here's another one. Say we have 16x5 y minus 3 and z to the power 4 over 20x minus 8 y minus 7 and z minus 8. Okay, feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So when we're doing this one, we can put 16 like this. We can 16 is the same as saying 4 times 4, and 20 is the same as saying 5 times 4. Okay, and then we have here x to the power of 5, y minus 3, z to the power of 4, and we have x minus 8, y minus 7, and z to the power of minus 8. Alright, so the 4's here, they can cancel, and we're left with 4 over 5. So I'm going to bring this all the way down. I have 4 and I have 5. We can't simplify this any further. So we're going to subtract the exponents. So we're going to have 5 minus 8. 5 minus 8. So you're going to have x, right? 5 minus 8 is going to be negative 3. And then y minus 3 minus 7 is going to give you an answer y minus 10. okay? And z minus 4, 4 and minus 8 can give you an answer of z is equal to minus 4. So, because they are all negative, we need to bring them down. So when we bring them down, we're going to have 4 over 5, and we bring this one down, so we become x3, we bring this down, y to the power of 10, we bring that down, z to the power of 4. So there are no negative exponents, and we can't do anything further. So this is our final answer, everybody, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 4x cubed, all of this to the power of 2. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay? So before we start, I just want to point out that there's an invisible exponent, which is 1. 1 doesn't really affect 4, but there is an invisible exponent. So what we'll have here is everything in the brackets is raised to the power of 2. So 4 is raised to the power of 2, and x, we say 3 times 2, because of our properties of exponents, you have to multiply the variable's exponent. So 3 times 2 gives you a power answer of 6, and when we bring that down, 4 squared gives you an answer of 16, and we left it 16x to the power of 6. So this is our final answer, everybody, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 2x cubed, y squared, all of this raised to the power of 2, okay? So again, there's an invisible 1 over here, so everything in the brackets is going to be raised by 2. So 2 is going to be squared, and then remember with the variables, the exponents multiply, so 3 times 2, x is 3 times 2 is going to give you 6, and y 2 times 2 is going to give you 4, and then 2 squared is equal to 4, so you left with 4x to the power of 6, y to the power of 4. So this is our final answer, okay? Okay, yeah, let's say we have this one. We have 8x to the power of 5, y to the power of negative 3, and we have z to the power of 8. Everything raised to 0, okay? So when anything is raised to the power of 0, anything raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1, positive 1. It's equal to positive 1. So that's that. So anything raised to the power of 0 just gives you an answer of 1, okay? So let's try this one. Say you have negative 2, and you have 3x squared, y to the power of 4, all raised to 0. Okay, feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So like I said in the previous one, we're not going to distribute first. We're going to first raise this to the power of 0. So anything raised to the power of 0 is just 1. So you left with negative 2 times anything raised to the power of 0 is 1 times 1. Negative 2 times 1 just gives you an answer of negative 2. Okay, so that's the answer for that one. Okay? Okay, say we have this one. Say we have 3x negative 2 over y negative 3 times 2x to the power of 4 over y to the power of negative 6. So you can feel free to pause this video and just try this on your own. So guys, it's up to you if you feel like moving everything around so you don't have any negative exponents, or you can just go straight into the this expression, so this equation. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply. When we're multiplying fractions, we multiply the top by the top and the bottom by the bottom, okay? So when I multiply, I'm going to have 3 times 2. 3 times 2 gives me an answer of 6. And then we add the exponents, so we're going to have x minus 2 plus 4 gives you an answer of 2, all right? So I'm just put this over here. And then I'll multiply this, so I have y times minus, so we add the exponents because we have common variables, so minus 3 plus minus 6 gives me an answer of y will give you negative 9, okay? So this is what we have now. So because now I see that I have a negative exponent, I can move it to the top, okay? So I will have, so I have 6x squared y 9 over 1, which is the same as saying just 6x squared y to the power of 9. So this is our final answer, everybody, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 35x minus 3 over 40xy to the power of 5, okay? Multiplied by 24x squared y squared over 42 y to the power of negative 4. Okay, so feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own, right? So when I'm looking at this one, I'm going to first put this like this. I'll do this. 35 we can also write as 7 times 5, and then we have x minus 3. Okay, and 40 we can write as 8 times 5, and x y to the power of 5 multiplied by 24 we can write as 6 times 6 x squared y squared, and 42 we can write as 7 times 6 y minus 4. Okay, hang on guys, I just noticed something. Here it's supposed to be minus 3, and over here it's supposed to be 36. Okay, it's supposed to be 36. Okay, so now we can go ahead and simplify, cancel. So we can cancel 7 and we can cancel 7, we can cancel 5 and 5, and we can cancel 6 and 6, right? So when we bring that all the way down, we're left with x minus 3 over 8x y to the power of 5 times, we have here 6x squared y squared and y to the power of negative 4. Okay, and so let me write this over here. Okay, so we can now cross, it's up to you what you want to do, if you want to change everything or you want to just cross multiply. I'm going to cross multiply so that I can simplify later. So y negative 3 I'm going to multiply to 6x squared y squared, so I'm going to have 6x squared y squared is going to be 6 of negative. Here's another one. Say we have 35x minus 3 over 40x y 5 multiplied by 24x2 y2 y squared over 42 x of y minus 4. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own, okay? So what I want to first do here is I'm going to break this up. Okay, so 35 is also the same as saying 7 times 5 x minus 3. Okay, and 40 is also the same as saying 8 times 5. Okay, x y to the power of 5 times 24 is also the same as saying 8 times 3 x squared y squared, and 42 is also the same as saying 7 times 6 y negative 4. Okay, so now that I have this, I can now cancel. So I can cancel 7 and 7, 5 and 5, 8 and 8. So now bring this all down, I am left with x to the power of minus 3, and I'm left with x y to the power of 5, all right, times 3x squared y squared, okay, and 6y negative 4. Okay, so So this is what I'm left with after I cancelled everything. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to multiply from top and top and bottom, right? So there's nothing to multiply with the coefficients, and when we multiply in common variables we add the exponents. So minus 3 plus 2 is going to give me x minus 1, and we're left with y squared over there because y doesn't have a common variable. And so here I'm going to multiply. 6 will stay because it has nothing to multiply with. X has nothing to multiply, so x will stay. And y5, when you're multiplying common variables, you add exponents. So 5 plus minus 4 is going to give you y to the power of 1. So just y, okay? So we can also simplify 3 and 6. Okay, by 3 goes once, by 3 goes twice. Okay, so we simplify that. So now we're left with x negative 1 and y squared and xy, x and y. So when we left with this, we have a negative exponent and we don't like that, so we're going to bring down the x. Okay, so when I bring down the x, I'm going to have here, what I'll be left with is y squared, right? And I'll have 2, and then I have x, y, and then I bring down the x, so it becomes positive 1. So I'll be left with this, and what I have here is y squared, and you have 2. So x times x, you add the exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2, so you'll be left with x squared and y at the bottom. So this is our final answer. Okay, guys? Okay, so here's another one. Say we have 24xy over 27x minus 2 multiplied by, not multiplied actually, divided by 36x squared and x squared y minus 3 and 45x y to the power of 4. Feel free to pause the video and try this on your own. Okay, so when you're dividing fractions, we go through this this rule called keep, change, and flip, which really means you keep the first one, you keep the first fraction, which is 24xy and 27x minus 2. You change the sign, so the inverse of division is multiplication, and you switch the second fraction. So we'll switch it, so we'll have 45 on top, 45x y to the power of 4 on top, and we have 36x squared y minus 3. Okay, so now we have multiplication. I'll just put this as a dot. Now we can multiply by top and bottom, and we can do the normal things that we do. So before I do this, I'm going to put 24. I'm going to put 24 as saying 24. We can say 8 times 3 xy. 27 we can say 4. Not 4. I mean 27 is the same as saying also not 8, 9 times 3 x minus 2 multiplied by 45. We can say as 9 times 5 x y to the power of 4. 36 is 6 times 6 x squared y negative 3. Okay, now I can cancel 3 and 3. I can cancel 9 and 9, right? So that's what we have now. So we'll be left on top with 8xy, right? And we'll be left here with x minus 2 times 5xy to the power of 4, and we're left with 6 times 6 x squared y minus 3. Okay, so now I'll put this 6 times 6 is 36. You don't need two numbers here, so I'll just leave it as 36. Now we'll multiply across. So we'll multiply top and top, bottom and bottom, right? So at the bottom and the top, when I multiply 8 times 5 gives me an answer of 40. Okay? And the x and x, you add the variables. So we'll have x squared, y, we add the variables, so we have 1 plus 4, so we have y to the power of 5. And here we're gonna have 36 doesn't have anything to be multiplied to. X and minus 2, so it's gonna be x minus 2 plus 2 is gonna cancel out each other. And so we won't have anything for x, and then we have just y. We left with y minus 3. Okay, we're not done. We can check if we can simplify the 36 and 40. Let's see if we can simplify the coefficients. By 4 becomes 10. By 4 it becomes 9. Okay, so at the bottom here we left with 10 over 9. Okay, and we can leave x squared there and y to the power of 5. And we see we have a negative exponent, so we'll move it to the top, so it becomes y to the third power. Okay, and I'll move this all the way over there. Okay, I'll move this over here. So I'm left here with 10 x squared, and we say y, when we multiply common variables, we add the exponent. So we're going to have 5 plus 3 gives you an answer of y to the 8th power, and we're left with 9 at the bottom. And we can't do anything further, so this is our final answer. Okay? Here's another one. Say we have 3x over 5 divided by 7xy over 9. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So this is basically the same as saying 3x over 5 divided by 7x y over 9, right? So remember the rule of division. When dividing fractions, you keep the first one, so you keep the first one, which is 3x over 5, change the sign to multiplication with the dot, and you switch this fraction, so it become 9, and then 7xy will be at the bottom. So now we can multiply top by top, bottom by bottom. Okay, so 3 times 9 gives you an answer of 27, and then x is left 27. Sorry. 5 times 7 xy. 5 times 7 is 35, and we left xy. Okay, so this is our final answer. Okay, guys. So we have 7 plus 2 over x over 5 minus 3 over y. Okay, feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a common denominator for everything. So on the top it's x, and at the bottom it's y. So that means I need to multiply every single thing by x and y. So I'll multiply everything by x and y, and multiply this by x and y, this by x and y, and this by x and y. Okay, so I'll have over here, just to get rid of all these fractions around. So we'll have 7 times x and y will be 7xy. Okay, and we have plus x and x will cancel, so 2 times y is going to give you 2y. We have 5 times xy is going to give you 5xy. Okay, over here the y and the y cancels, so you're left with minus 3x. Okay, so when we're over here, we can so here that can be it, but we can also factor using the GCF. So we'll have here, we can factor out y because they have y in common, so it'll be left So we divide everything by y, so we'll be left with 7x. The y will cancel, plus, and we left with 2 here. And the bottom we can factor out x, and you'll be left with the 5y because the x will cancel, and minus 3 x will cancel. So this is our final answer, guys. This is what we have now. Okay, let's move on to solving some equations. Okay, so let's start with this one. Let's start with an easy one. X plus 10 x plus 4 is equal to 10. Okay, feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So in order for us to solve for the value of x, we need x alone on one side and everything else on the other side. In order for me to do this, I need to minus by 4. And whatever I do on this side, I must do on this side as well. So I'll subtract by 4. And this will cancel. And I'm left with x. When I bring this down, I'm left with x. I bring this down. 10 minus 4 gives you an answer of 6. So this is the value of x. Okay? So the next one. Here's another one. So you have 3x plus 5. 3x plus 5 is equal to 11. Feel free to pause the video and try this on your own. So we want x on its own. So we'll start with minusing 5 on both sides. Whatever you do on this side, do on that side. Because the opposite of plus is minus. So they will cancel. You bring this down and you bring that down. You're left with 3x is equal to 11. Because it's multiplication, you're multiplying 3 and x. We need to do the opposite, which is dividing. So divide 3 on this side and divide 3 on that side. 3 and 3 will cancel. Bring this all the way down. We're left with x is equal to 11 over 3. This is our final answer, okay? So let's move on to the next one. Here's another one. Say we have 2x minus 2 brackets x, okay, minus 1, and then plus 6 is equal to 10, right? So we want to find the value of x. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to, I can start by subtracting 6 on both sides. Let me start by doing that. I'll subtract 6 on this side, and I'll subtract 6 on that side, right? So this will cancel, bring this all the way down, and I'll bring this down. I'm left with 2x. I'm left with 2 brackets x minus 1 is equal to 10 minus 6, which is 4. Okay, so there's multiplication here. I need to distribute this 2 into everything in the brackets. So I have to distribute 2x. So 2 times x is going to give you 2x. Distribute 2 to minus 1. 2 times minus 1 is going to give you an answer of minus 2 is equal to 4. Okay, so I'm going to move the negative 2 to the other side. So I have plus 2 on this side, plus 2 on this side as well. Okay, this will cancel. Bring this down. I'm left with 2x. And I'll bring this down. I'm left with 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. The opposite of multiplication over here is division. So I divide by 2. It will cancel. Divide by 2 over here. I have x is equal to 3. So this is our final answer. Here's another one. So you have 5 minus 3 x plus 4 is equal to 7 plus 2 brackets x minus 1. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I distribute everything to the brackets. So I'll leave 5 over here and I'll distribute negative 3 to everything in the brackets. Negative 3 times x will give me an answer of negative 3x. Negative 3 times 4 is going to give me an answer of negative 12, okay? And is equal to, I'll leave 7 and I'll do the same thing. I'll distribute 2 into everything into the bracket. So 2 times x is going to give me plus 2x. 2 times negative 1 is going to give me negative 2. So now we have something we can deal with here. So we're going to take 5 and minus 12 and we're going to subtract them. So 5 minus 12 is to give me an answer of negative 7 minus 3x, okay, plus, and then I have 7 minus 2, which is just going to give me 5 plus 2x. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I will now on both sides I'm going to plus 3x here. In fact, I will minus 2x. I'll minus 2x over here. And I will plus 7 over here and plus 7 over here and minus 2x over here. Just in one go, okay? So this will cancel and that will cancel, and we bring everything down. We're left here with minus 3 minus 2 gives you an answer of minus 5x, and 5 plus 7 gives you an answer of 12. Okay, so I'm going to divide everything by negative 5. Okay, this will cancel and I'll be left here with x is equal to negative 12 over 5. Okay, this is our value of x. So let's try this other one. Okay, let's try this one. Say we have 2/3 2/3 x plus 5 is equal to 8. Okay, right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 5 on this side, and whatever I do on this side I must do on this side as well. So I subtract by 5 on this side, do it on both sides. The 5 and 5 will cancel. I bring this down and I bring that down, and I'm left with 2/3 x is equal to 8 minus 5 gives you answer of 3. So because it's division over here, 2/3 is division, I'll multiply by the denominator, which is 3, and they will cancel. Whatever I do on this side I must do on this side as well, so I'll multiply by 3 over here. Okay, so I'm left with 2x is equal to 3 times 3. 3 times 3 gives you an answer of 9, and then I'll divide by 2 on this side, because the opposite of multiplication is division. Whatever I do on this side I must do on this side, guys. So I will divide it by 2. The 2 and 2 cancel. I'm left with x is equal to 9 over 2. Okay, this is our final answer. So this is a mixed fraction. We can turn this into a proper, this is an improper fraction. We turn it into a mixed fraction. So we'll have x is equal to 2 goes into 9 4 times, so that 4, and remainder 1/2. So this is it as a mixed fraction. Okay, here's another one. Say we have 3/4x minus 1/3 is equal to 1. Feel free to pause the video and try this on your own. So the first thing I want to do is I want to find a common denominator. Between 4 and 3, the common denominator is 12. So I'm going to multiply everything by 12. So times by 12, okay? So it's basically saying 3/4 times 12x. And over here it's minus 1/3 times 12, and 1 times 12. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have 1 times 12 is just gonna be 12. So here by 4 it goes once, by 4 goes 3 times, here by 3 goes once, by 3 goes 4 times. So 3 times 3x is going to give me 9x, minus 1 times 4 is just going to give me an answer of 4. Okay, so let me bring this forward. 9x minus 4. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is something we're very familiar with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add 4 to get rid of minus 4 here, and I'm going to add 4. Whatever I do on this side, I do on that side as well. So the 4's will cancel, bring this down and bring this down. I'm left with 9x is equal to 12 plus 4 is equal to 16. And because it's multiplication, the opposite of multiplication is division. I'll divide by 9. Whatever I do on this side, do on that side as well. Divide by 9. Bring this down, I'm left with x is equal to 16 over 9. So this is an improper fraction. We can turn it into a mixed fraction. By 9 it goes, so x is equal to, by 9 it goes once, and we left with 7 over 9. So this is a improper fraction and as a mixed fraction. This is our final answer. Okay? So for example, you have x plus 2 over 5 is equal to 7 over 8. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So you can go ahead and find a lowest common denominator for the equation, but what I'm going to do is a different method I'm going to show you, which is called cross multiplication. So I'll cross multiply. So whenever you have an equal sign separating two fractions, you can cross multiply. So what I have here is I'm going to have 8 multiplied by 2x plus 2, okay, and 5 multiplied by 7. Okay, so I'll distribute everything. I'll distribute 8 into the brackets. So I have 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 2 is plus 16. 5 times 7 gives me, so I put this bit up. 5 times 7 gives me an answer of 35. Okay, so now we have something we're familiar with, and we have an equation that we're familiar with, and we can go ahead and subtract 16 on both sides because we want x by itself, and the opposite of plus is minus. So the 16 will cancel. We can bring everything down. We're left here with 8x. 35 minus 16 gives us an answer of 19, right? And we'll divide, because it's multiplication, we'll divide everything by 8. Whatever you do on this side, do on this side as well. Divide by 8. The 8 will cancel. We bring this down. We'll have x is equal to 19 over 8. We can write this as a, since this is a improper fraction, we can write this as a mixed fraction. So it would be x is equal to, 8 goes into 19 2 times, okay? And remainder 3 over 8. So these are your answers, final answers, okay? Okay, so here's another one. X squared minus 25, okay? Is equal to 0. So this is an interesting one. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So there's two methods that I can do with this one. I'm going to do the first one over here. So I can do this in the normal equation way. So I'll have x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. Okay, and I'll add 25 on both sides because that's the inverse of minus. I'll add 25 on both sides. The 25 will cancel. We bring this down and we bring that down. We'll have x squared is equal to 25, okay? And the inverse of power, to the power is square root. So we need to square root whatever you do on this side, you do on this side as well. So we square root over here. 2's will cancel. We're left with x, and the square root of 25 is 5. But we don't just put 5, we say plus or minus 5. So it's plus minus 5, and I'll show you why we put that there. So if I do it over here with my second method, which is x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. Okay, before I show you this, I want to show you guys something. So this is a factorization formula called dots. So if we have, say for example, a squared minus b squared, okay, that is the same as saying a plus b and a minus b, okay? It's called the difference of two perfect squares. So a squared minus b squared is a plus b brackets a plus a minus b brackets. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. So I have x squared minus 25. These are perfect squares. So it's saying the same thing as I have x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. I'm just going to write that again. It's the same as saying square root of x squared is x plus the square root of 25 is 5 and brackets x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay? So now we have x plus 5 and x minus 5. We're going to have two answers here. So now we have two factored answers. So with this one here, we have two answers for x. We have plus 5 and minus 5. And here we have two factors, and we can now solve for the value of x. So we're going to have x plus 5 on this side is equal to 0. and x minus 5 on this side is equal to 0. Now we can solve for the value of x. So the opposite of plus is minus 5. And whatever I do on this side, I do on this side as well. So I'm minus 5 on here. And this will cancel. I'll be left with x. I'll bring this down and I'll bring this down. I'll be left with x is equal to negative 5, okay? And over here, the opposite of minus is plus, so plus 5 here. Whatever I do on this side, must do on this side as well. So plus 5 on this side. This will cancel. We'll bring this down. Bring that down. You're going to have x is equal to 5, okay? So you see we have two answers for two values of x. So that's why we put plus or minus. So this is the two values of x, okay? Here's another one. Say we have 2x squared minus 18 is equal to 0. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own. So, with this 2x squared minus 18, we can factor 2, okay? So when we factor 2, we have 2 outside, okay? And 2 divide, so we divide everything by 2, we divide everything by 2. So the 2 will cancel, and you're left with x squared, okay? And negative 18 divided by 2 is equal to 9, right? Has to equal to 0, okay? So what I notice over here is that we have a difference of two perfect squares. We have x squared and minus 9. So it's the same as saying 2. I'll leave my 2 there, and I have x. The square root of x squared is x minus 3, and x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? So now we can find the value of x using the two ways, okay? So I'll leave my 2 for now, and I'll have x minus 3 is equal to 0, and I'll have x plus 3 is equal to 0. These are my factored answers, okay? These are my factored values, and I'm using it to find the value of x. So here I'll plus by 3, I'll add 3 because the opposite of minus is plus, and I'll do whatever I do on this side, I must do on this side as well. So they will cancel, and I'll be left with x. Bring this down. Bring that down. I'll be left with x is equal to 3 on this side. And then I move on to this side. I will subtract 3 on both sides, because the opposite of plus is minus. The 3's will cancel. Bring this down, and I'll bring that down. I'll be left with x is equal to negative 3. So we have two values of x. We have x is equal to 3 and x is equal to negative 3, okay? Okay, so we can check this answer by substituting our values of x into the equation. So we'll start with plus 3, okay guys? So we have 2 and times 3, we're starting with 3 squared minus 18, and this has to give me an answer of 0, okay? So I have 2 here, 3 squared is 9, and minus 18 over here, and is equal to 0. 2 times 9 gives me an answer of 18, and minus 18, which has to equal to 0. 18 minus 18 is 0, and 0 is equal to 0. So this, the value of x being 3 is true, and it's correct, okay? So let's try with the second one, which is negative 3. So I'll just make a line there. So I'll have 2 times, okay, I'll put a bracket there, you don't need to put the dots, minus 3 squared minus 18 must give me an answer of 0, okay? So I'll leave my 2 outside for now. When you have brackets and you're squaring it, the answer is going to be positive, okay? Because everything is squared. So you're going to have positive 3 squared is 9. So plus 9 minus, not plus 9, sorry, times 9, sorry guys, minus 18 is equal to 0. 2 times 9 gives me an answer of 18. 18 minus 18, sorry, 18 minus 18 must equal to 0. 18 minus 18 is 0. 0 is equal to 0. So the value, so when x is equal to minus 3, that is correct. And the value, everything is true. So that's our final answer, okay? Okay, here's something different. Say we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay? So, before we start here, we can factor this because it's a trinomial. So when we factor trinomials, we factor in using the middle term method, which is finding the factors of the constant, which is 6. So I'll find the factors of the constant, which is 6. So I have 1 and 6 and 2 and 3, okay? Now, we need to find a pair that, when added together, gives me the middle term, which is 5, and when multiplied together gives me the constant. So I see, oh, 2 and 3, if I add 2 and 3, I get 5, and when I multiply 2 and 3, I get 6. So we can therefore go on and say, so we have x squared plus 2x plus 3x, okay, plus 6 is equal to 0. Right, so now we can factor it, and when we factor it, we'll have x plus 2 brackets over here, x plus 3. So this is the factored answer, okay, which is equal to 0. So now we're familiar with this. We can now go and find for the value of 0. So we'll have two answers here. So I'll write down, draw a line over here. Let's take each factor there and so equal to 0. So we'll have x plus 2 is equal to 0, and we'll have x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so the opposite, so now we can do this as a normal equation. The opposite of plus is minus, so subtract 2. Whatever you do on this side, do on this side as well. We'll subtract 2 on this side. The 2's will cancel, bring down x and bring down this over here. So we'll have x is equal to negative 2, okay? Now we move on to this side. We subtract 3 because the opposite of plus is minus. Whatever we do on this side, we do on this side as well. Subtract 3. The 3's will cancel, bring down the x and bring everything else down. We're left with x is equal to 0 minus 3 is just going to give us an answer of negative 3, okay? These are the two values of x in this equation, okay? So these are the two values, okay? Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment down below what you want to see next. Also guys, turn on post notifications so you can be notified when we post a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember guys, practice makes perfect. Bye, see you next time.